Hello and welcome back everyone to the video series Dedication on CBS that'll have you going, is it the end yo for Benzo? That's right, we're talking about The Challenge USA episode 10, and we have a pretty straightforward episode, so let's just jump right in where last episode left off, which was Sarah beating out Cache, getting her qualifying money, and coming back to the challenge house. We see that Sarah, Kayla, Justine are all excited that Sarah has her qualifying money, but then they get very down and serious with the business, saying like, we gotta keep Desi on our side, we gotta make sure that Angela and Alyssa don't think that this is a win for their side, which I don't know how they think that this is a win for their side, because you have your qualifying money and they were trying to like get you out of this house. So I don't think that they think that this is a win for them at all. I don't know. That was just a weird meeting in general. Then we move on to where Ben and Enzo are talking about how far they are into this game. Now they just need to make it to the finals. They have their qualifying money. Then we move to Ben and Angela talking with each other, and Ben says that he is just locked in for the finals. Angela's like, we have a good thing. We have our people. We have our clear path to the finals. And Ben is like, yeah, I'm totally with you 100%. Nothing will make me deviate from the plan of all the Survivor guys plus you and Alyssa. Then we move on to this week's daily challenge where everybody goes out to meet TJ at this runway with this giant truck full of pegs. And, well, this giant truck full of holes that you're having to put pegs in. And TJ tells them that this is a daily challenge called Code Crossing, where players will have to try to get from the bottom right of the truck and use pegs to get all the way up to the top left to then pull a string to release smoke. Everybody will have 3 minutes to try to complete this, and because the challenge knows that that is a very daunting task, they allow people to preset 6 pegs before even taking their run. I was thinking there's no way anybody is going to complete this daily challenge. It's going to come down to who gets the farthest. Luckily, one person does officially complete this. Tyson and David don't get finished at all. They feel like they're going to be on the bottom because they went first out of everybody. And Tyson was extremely nervous, thinking that he was going to be going into the elimination. Sarah DQs, Alyssa doesn't finish. Dom and Danny, neither of them finish, but Dom gets very far in a very quick amount of time. Justine and Kayla, neither finish. Kayla actually DQs as well. So you have Kayla and Sarah, the only two that are DQ'd, and Kayla was on that thing for like 5 seconds and DQ'd. Then you have Ben and Enzo, neither of them finish, but Ben gets just as far as Dom. So I knew it was between them two coming towards the end for the men's side, but it wasn't until Angela and Desi, where both women get super far, farther than anybody else in the competition, especially Angela, who legit finishes this challenge. Very impressive for Angela to get all the way towards the end and pull the string. Desi was right there. Like, she was so close to the end, and she would have won if it wasn't for Angela ultimately finishing this daily challenge. So coming back to TJ for the results, he is very, very happy that Angela was able to finish, because that means that it's not a super dud of a daily challenge, even though it was kind of daunting for majority of these people that barely do anything outside of their own homes, it feels like. So Angela wins. Ben is the winner next to her, and the loser comes down to David. So David is going directly into the elimination. Angela and Ben are the winners. We come back to the house for the deliberation, and Angela and Ben are talking to David and ask him who would he like to go up against. And David says he would go up against Dom, which I'm like, okay, yeah, I could see wanting to take on Dom. And then he says Tyson, because Tyson has a ton of money. What? What now? You don't have to go against Tyson. I mean, granted, you would probably want to face him in an elimination before probably facing him in a final. But if you're just trying to make it to the final, you pretty much should just leave it at Dom at that point. Now, it's in every guy's best interest to take a shot at Tyson right here, right now, which it seems like this is the final men's elimination. So there's no better spot to take a shot at Tyson than right now. And even Ben after David leaves, is really wanting to push the whole Dom and Tyson angle, you know? But Angela, who it's in her best interest to keep Tyson in the game, because if she gets paired up with Tyson for the final, if there is a paired up portion of the final and she somehow lucks into getting Tyson, then she wants to keep Tyson in the game no matter what. So there's this big friction between Angela and Ben, where Ben is really wanting to push Dom and Tyson, does not want to put Enzo up at all, which is what Angela wants. I mean, realistically, it's David, Enzo, and then there's just Survivor guys. So Angela's like, if we want to keep our alliance strong, then we got to throw in Enzo against David. And Ben is like, no, I'm not putting Enzo into the elimination. He's off the table. And Angela's like, well, guess what? Tyson is off the table. So I'm thinking, all right, compromise. Throw him Dom. Who cares? Like, realistically, and even Tyson in his podcast was saying that Angela came up to him and was like, we might have to throw in Dom. And Tyson's like, okay, sure. I'm not that sold on Dom. Now, this tension and friction between Ben and Angela was shortly lived, because the very next day, after Angela has already told Tyson and Danny about Ben and trying to push Tyson or Dom into the elimination, that's when Ben has a conversation with Angela, apologizing and saying, yeah, I'm 100% on board with sending in Enzo. We move later on in the day and we see Angela on the couch laying down, and then David is sitting on the couch. It doesn't seem like either one are in a conversation with one another until Angela is just like speaking out loud, loud enough for David to hear, and then she's kind of giving him the motivations of why they chose Enzo to go into the elimination. She's like, hey, by the way, Enzo's going into the elimination against you, so you're welcome for getting Enzo to be. And David is pissed. David is livid. I mean, that's his BFF in the house. And also, this is a Big Brother player targeting a Big Brother player against another Big Brother player, and David is flabbergasted. Like, how could you do this? Survivor has all the numbers. You're letting Survivor walk all through this game, kind of just waltz through this game. What are you doing? So David is upset. He walks away. Ben comes over and sits next to Angela, like right after David gets up, and Angela spills the beans that, hey, I spilled the beans to David that we're throwing in Enzo. So maybe we should tell Enzo that he's going in sooner rather than later. And Ben's like, I got it. Let me go talk to him. He goes over to Enzo while he's steaming his tank top, and he goes, hey, you're going into the elimination. And Enzo can't even fathom why? Why am I going in? I've already been in twice. Why am I going in a third time, especially against one of my best friends in David? Enzo's like, what? How could this be? What? No. So after Ben lets it be known that Enzo is going in, that's when Enzo goes and talks to Angela and has a big blow up. He's like, how could you do this? I would have never done this to you. That's my best friend David. How could you throw me in? And then he's yelling, saying that Tyson won already $1 million. He's going to waltz into the finals. He looks like Jesus. What more could this man ask for? And then storms off. Then as Angela, Alyssa, and Tyson are chatting, David comes up and has a blow up again, being like, how could you do this? How dare you? When I win, or when I tried to win, I always tried to win to keep all of us safe. And look at you. Look, you just threw it all away. How dare you? And then walks away. I mean, the past 30 minutes, it's like I knew David and Enzo were going to go into the elimination against each other. And it was just like, okay, can we just hurry it up to the elimination? Because I kind of already know that Enzo was going to succumb to what Angela was trying to do. He doesn't want that target on him. He just wants to make it to the finals. He's not going to have that big of a pushback. And with 20 minutes left, I was really, really wanting to know what more could be left in this episode, which was just the blow-ups between Angela and both Enzo and David. So we get to the elimination a little bit earlier than normal because this elimination is going to be balls in between David and Enzo. And balls in is a classic challenge elimination in the way that there will always be somebody playing offense and somebody playing defense. The person on offense will try to get their ball in the basket in the middle of the elimination, while the person on defense is trying to make that ball dead and trying to stop that person at all costs from dunking their ball and getting a point. They do 5 rounds. The best of 5 rounds will win this elimination. And in my mind, I knew from watching the previews of the next daily challenge, which is the Haunted House Daily Challenge, all the previews in the beginning portions before the season even started, I knew that Enzo was in that Haunted House Daily Challenge. So I knew Enzo would win. I just did not expect for balls in to go this way. This was rough to watch at some points. I mean, come on now. We talked about the hall brawl being a little bit like wah wah. I thought balls in was so wah wah. I mean, this was so meh of a balls in. The guy's gassed out so quickly. And I have to look at David. What are you doing when you are training, my guy? Like, Enzo is almost double your age. And for somehow you cannot outmuscle him, out-quick him, or outlast him in stamina and endurance? What is going on? I don't know what happened in this balls in, but it was from round 2 on was just really tough to watch these two guys just like run in slow motion trying to put the ball in. I mean, I got to give respect where respect is due. They gave 110%. I mean, they gave until there was nothing left in their tank. It's just that they were running on empty from round 2 on. Luckily in round 2, David was able to sink a ball in. We get all the way down to round 4 where Enzo was somehow able to get a ball in. So then it is 1-1 heading into the final round. We move on to round 5 where David does his best, Steph Curry, and tries to do a 3-pointer, does not get it. Enzo runs over, quickly throws that ball out of the ring. Then it is moving on to Enzo's offensive round, and Enzo is able to sink his last ball, getting this win 2-1. Enzo wins, is looking up in the stands. He is pretty much telling everybody that they better watch out for him. He'll F everybody up. And Danny has the line of the season going like, I wonder who he's talking to. That was so funny. Sadly, David is eliminated from this game. He is walking away, and Enzo gets to stay in this game and gets every cent that was in David's bank account. So that is it for this elimination, for this episode. And I think that is it for the final men's elimination because we only have one more week. We have a 2-hour episode next week for the finale. We have to get through a women's elimination and through the whole finals in those 2 hours. So that is it. We are wrapping this season up next week. What'd you think about this episode? Let me know down in the comment section below. What'd you think about the daily challenge? Do you think it was too short of a time limit for people to try to finish that challenge? Or do you think that everybody was just taking their sweet old time and should have done like Angela did and just bull past everything? Let me know down in the comment section below. What do you think about the decision to throw in Enzo against David? Do you think that was a smart decision? Do you think that was a not so smart decision? I think it was a smart decision on the women's side, and if you are a woman in the game, you are happy to see either David or Enzo go. But on the men's side, I mean, those two guys are layups. I mean, you need to take a shot at the big dogs if you want to have a shot at getting that money. What do you think about everything, though? Let me know down in the comment section below. Who do you think could be the next eliminated? And who do you think is going to have a smooth walk in these finals that we are going to be seeing next week? Let me know anything and everything down in the comment section below. I want to give a special shout out. Thank you to everyone who supports me over at patreon.com/angelcakevids. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you to everyone who is watching this video up to this point. I'll be back really, really soon with more challenge content, more content in general. But until then, peace.